other words, happiness does not come from circumstances being the way you want them to be. The world of phenomena does not have your happiness, your joy, nor your peace. That comes from heaven. And heaven is not a place, it is a state of consciousness. If you want to really change the world, wake up, wake up. One day it happens. A day in ever-expanding good. That's heaven, that's heaven, that's heaven, that's heaven, that's heaven. Just a day, one day it happens. And you'll be glad. There'll be an answer. There'll be a solution. There'll be an energetic vibration.
Good morning, welcome to the center.
Today we're having the in-flight class. I'm the teacher of the QG and Tai Chi, and we're going to do a little demonstration this morning. We're going to demonstrate a mantra and demonstrate some moves that brings out the happiness and the joy in your life. This is a beautiful day. We're having a Tai Chi demonstration today here in church. We're going to be doing a mantra and some moves from Tai Chi and Qigong, faster movements. And we're doing a song called A Day in Heaven.
See my family and some friends that I started teaching years ago. Half a century.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I invite everyone to please get into a comfortable position. Relax, lean back. And if it's comfortable for you, you may close or lower your eyes. And let's all take our deep collective breath in and hold it. 2, 1. Slowly exhale. Let's do that one more time. Deep breath in. And hold it. 3, 2. Slowly let go. Let's allow our body and mind to become still as we center our consciousness in this moment, reminding ourselves our very own divine identity right here and now. Going through the very breath, the height and the depth of who we truly are. So please allow my word to be your word as we center ourselves through this precious moment. I recognize in this very moment I co-create a sacred space of my being, a space of love, joy, peace, compassion, and all the allness there is. I am still in silence and letting go all of my emotions, thoughts, and needs. I'm going deeper, connecting to my inner self, the source, true and eternal, called by different names: Allah, Buddha, universe, love, joy, peace, child, mother, father, God, all the same, all the same. All one divine source, supporting, guiding, and guarding me through this moment. Ceasing all my thought and emotion and feeling of any false belief or fear, any doubt, lack, and disease. I am that which thou art that which I am, and that which I am, and that which thou art is one and the same. I am one with it. I am one in it. I am of it. Trusting I'm always supported, guided, and protected with this great wisdom of my being, I simply relax and let the amazing white light just glow, grow, and glow, eternally shining unto me and unto everyone around me, making every way clear and straight before me. So with a grateful heart, feel and say silently, I am right in the perfect spot where my true source is. I'm right in the perfect spot where my true source is. As I say it, I'm surrendering my word to the law of absolute faith, trusting my source, the giver, and I, the gift, are one. So if may I ask everyone to take another collective deep breath in and hold it. 3, 2, 1. And let go. And together we say, and so it is.
So gently close your eyes and just know that the words that I speak are everyone's words. And they're coming from my heart as I speak the invocation this morning. I know, and I have faith in the belief that there is only one infinite intelligence, one divine mind, one creative spirit. And because I know that this is true, I watch as it expresses in, through, and as me, as compassion, and love, and beauty, and joy. Everything that I express in my higher consciousness level is always that of the one true spirit that dwells in me. As I feel this love and look into each eye that I come into contact with, I know that my mind is reverberating back to me the love that I see, radiating through eyes of love that speak to me so clearly. If it weren't for the eyes that I see, I would not feel this love. It is through our collective oneness that we can all be that love expressing. Love is the key. And knowing that, I will let my actions, my words, and my thoughts continually be in peace with this thought, knowing I need not go anywhere else. I only need to stay in my higher Christ consciousness to have everything that I need to see revealed to me in the highest and best ways. I am so grateful for this thought, and I am so grateful for this day that brings such an awareness of miracles that are happening right here and right now. I am so grateful for our guest speaker, Judy, who will be opening our hearts and letting us see again for ourselves how perfect we are in spirit. I am so grateful for the musicians, for the sound people, for the teachers and children, and the volunteers. And I am so grateful for each and every person that hears the sound of my voice this morning. I know that this day brings forth wonderment for each and every one of us. And I am now so comfortable in saying that we can say together, and so it is.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself. Well, I didn't know the grace of God is sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand again.
very healing. Anyway, while you're standing, if it's comfortable for you, please say it with me. God bless America and the rest of the world. And just greet a neighbor and say good morning.
Good morning again, everyone. Today we have something special going on. We have something special. We always have something special, but this is really special because I came on a Saturday morning, a couple weeks back, to the Tai Chi class, and I wasn't able to stay the whole time. And since this is the month of creativity, I thought it would be awesome if we could get Oliver and his crew, and the crew, to come up and do something and show us about what they're doing in class. So without further ado, Oliver.
Good morning. We give then my class is the in-flight class. It's about being an eagle. It's about dealing with the chickens in your life. You know, the chickens want you to lay your eggs and your gifts in the chicken coop. But you're an eagle. You want to lay your ideas up on the highest mountain you can find that God has made. So, this class actually teaches how you get that ego personality down deep inside you. So first thing, we practice our morning mantra. That means a daily practice of just getting your life and your words going. I do this every morning, so I will share you my mantra. Because I do it with a class, and each one of them have a mantra too. But the idea of the mantra is to start your day right. Being placed in this space, here in the glory of the moment, with gratitude and childlike love, I open myself to this day and spread my wings. And I feel the presence of a beautiful waterfall washing down over me, through my head, round about my body, and out to my feet. Taking it with it, its grace and peace, and the shadows of yesterday are washed away. And in my mind's eye, I see God loves me. He loves me. And up above my head, there's a beautiful light shining there, like a morning sun. And I hold that light in the palm of my hands, and I bring it down towards my heart, and it explodes and expands throughout my whole body, through my legs, through my arms, throughout my fingertips, till I become that light. I am the light. And I put all that energy and I form it in a perfect ball, like my beautiful day, in the way my life is going to be at this moment. And I take it high above my head so the whole world can see. This is the way I choose to live my life. My life. My life. My life. And as I bring it down, I can feel the healing rays of that light circulating in my body through all my cells, all my molecules are so whole and so healed and happy. And it feels so good. And as I bring it before me, I can see the presence of God all around me. come closer, I see my face and my lips, and I give it a big kiss. And I let it go. Back up to the universe, to the galaxies, to all of mankind. And then I just know that this light flows and stays around me all the time. I am who God says I am. And so it is.
Take a breath right here. And we're going to move into the first move right now. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath. Right here, right here, right here, right here. And then you ask, how can I bring value? What's my job here? Sometimes your job is just to pray. So we're here to wake up to this awareness and to allow for our life to be a living demonstration of that which has never been born and will never die. Now, feel all of your needs met right now. Just feel it, you can feel it. Just feel that you're so loved beyond your mental comprehension. You're the center of the universe because the center is everywhere and the circumference is nowhere. So you're at the center of the universe and you're just so loved right now. Everything is working together for your good right now. You are allowed your Father, Mother, God's business right now to be on display for the isness, the knowledge, and authoritaveness of the Spirit now. Just feel that. We're describing heaven. One day in heaven. A day in ever-expanding good. That's heaven. Just a day. One day in heaven. So we're here to wake up in this world. A day in heaven. And of course, when we speak of heaven, we're not speaking of a far-off state, someplace that you go to when you die. We speak of you becoming more authentic, more alive, more awake. And the world is literally transformed as individuals become more awake. In other words, happiness does not come from circumstances being the way you want them to be. The world of phenomena does not have your happiness, your joy, nor your peace. That comes from heaven. And heaven is not a place, it is a state of consciousness. If you want to really change the world, wake up, wake up. One day in heaven. A day in ever-expanding good. That's heaven, that's heaven, that's heaven, that's heaven, that's heaven. Just a day, one day in heaven. And you'll be guided to be an answer, to be a solution, to be an energetic vibration of you. Take the breath right here. There are practices
now, but they will start again soon.
What's the name of that song?
One day in heaven. Michael.
It's beautiful, thank you so much. All right, Michelle comes to accompany Dave, Steve, and Addie. Here I'm singing with this woman. She was my goddess, poet, and this song seems to fit the day.
All the lies speaking, talks of men and angels are like sounding brass and tinkling cymbals without love. Love suffers long, love is kind, enduring all things, hoping all things. Love has no evil in my hands, the gift of prophecy and all knowledge and the faith to move the mountains. Even if I understood all of the mysteries, if I didn't have love, I'd be nothing. Looks for love, love's not puffed up or envious or touchy. 'Cause it rejoices in the truth, not in iniquity. Love sees like a child sees. As a child, I spoke as a child. I laughed and I understood as a child. But when I became a woman, I put away childish things and began to see through a glass darkly. As a child, I saw it face to face. Now I only see it in ghosts. Fractions in me of faith and hope and love, and of these great dreams, love's the greatest beauty.
Keeps getting better today. Yeah. So, all right. So we have a guest speaker today, and so yeah. So her name is I'm gonna call her Reverend Judy. She's not quite a reverend yet, but she is a minister in training, and she is a practitioner at the Downey Center for Spiritual Living. You know where Downey is? It's Reverend Sunshine's church. Reverend Sunshine will be in October. She is an inspirational speaker, teacher, ministerial student, and author of the book, You Do Not Have to Be Behind Bars to Be in Prison. Amen to that. She's traveled with Tony Robbins' Must team, taught meditation in a men's prison, and helped hundreds of seniors learn the art of meditation. She experienced her own Eat, Pray, Love story, traveling to India and meeting with the Dalai Lama, seeking a greater purpose to be of service in life. The awareness has brought her back to Huntington Beach, serving the community she grew up in and loves. She is also a mom of one handsome son, David James. So please give Reverend Judy a warm welcome.
Oh my goodness. You guys are so filled with love. You're so filled with smiles. Everything from the minute I walked in the door today, from the greeters at the door, to the men with the name badges, to the ushers here, the sound people, everybody that has come up here has generously showed love and excitement for this place. You're an oasis in the middle of Las Vegas, and you bring nourishment to the souls of people seeking to express the love of God in and through them. Do you know how amazing you are? This is truly a beautiful place. I am so excited and thrilled, yes. Even Aldi getting me to settle down, and the music, both musicians were amazing. I loved your movement because I'm talking about the symbols of love today. And when you were up here, every time you did this, you were doing the symbol of science of mind. So it's all come together, and I'm innocent enough nowadays to go, oh my God, this is all for me. I'm loving God showing up as each and every one of you that opened up this space that I can show the love of who I believe God to be in me. So thank you very much for that. And Stacy, Reverend Stacy and Reverend Cheryl for being so guided and trusting that you would have me come out here. Because I got in my car in Huntington Beach at 3:15 on yesterday and got here at 9:30 last night. And it was like 70-something degrees in Huntington Beach and 110 last night. I'm like, okay, Spirit obviously wants me to be on fire for God. I love it. What a wonderful blessing. And then Reverend Kate, my dear friend from Agape, we met in 2005, maybe even earlier. But I called her at the last minute and said, Sister, I need a place to stay. And she goes, we'll make it work, come on in. So what a generous and wonderful group you are. And I love love. So if I go on and on about gratitude and love, that's what I'm here for today. To tell you guys about the love and the gratitude that is available in and through you. And I'm going to talk about my last name for just a second, because it's not real common, and I noticed that not many people wanted to say it. It's Judy Osuna. Osuna, it's a Spanish name, but I tell people, oh, sooner or later. I want you all to laugh, and I want you laughing with me. There were so many symbols of everything that I believe myself to be. By the time I got to this point right here, I'm just like, this seems so synchronistic that, you know, I truly believe that we are blessed and that we are in a space and a place for God in divine right timing. So the symbols of love I wanted to talk about, we all know things like this. We speak in hieroglyphics. You know what I'm trying to say. We speak in that nowadays because how many of you ever get a text from somebody and then you send back a smiley face, prayer hands, dancing girl in the red, you know, or maybe that's just me, but anyway. So we speak in symbols, and what do those symbols mean for us? They mean that I recognize you, I'm going to send you a symbol back, I acknowledge you and I love you. It means I'm happy, it means I'm blowing a kiss. You know, what are the symbols of love that you use? Because there are many out there that we can pull from, but you get to choose. And the symbol you choose with the meaning you give it and the emotion attached to it becomes the story of your life. So do you know that you're constantly telling people around you who you are by the words you choose to use and the symbols that you surround yourself with. So this is what I love about this Science of Mind symbol. God is all there is, the individual expression going through the law that always says yes, and creating form. So the symbols that we use, you know, there was a couple of people on the freeway that were using symbols, and I just, I'll scooch over, I'm not in a hurry. They all be there tomorrow morning. But all of those things are evidence of what's inside of you. What do you get? What do you bring to the table? What are you given of God? Yes? So I have a little story about a friend that just loved the Centers for Spiritual Living. I'm not going to tell you who she is in case you know her. But she rushed into the church and she wanted to be a part of it right away. And she wanted to give. Right? So she signed up for volunteer. She signed up for helping out at the table. She signed up to host a lunch. And she took on so much. And this lady, you don't go to her house and just eat. You go to her house for an event. So she went and bought themed things. She cleaned the house from top to bottom. She made all the food and she invited everyone over to let them know that this is how some people give love, is by giving food, right? And hosting those things. But she noticed she was getting a little caught up and getting a little exerted or anxious, if you will. And her daughter was in the kitchen with her helping slice and dice. And her daughter was very much a shadow by her side. So when everybody came over, the house looked beautiful, the food looked beautiful, she looked beautiful, the daughter looked beautiful. Everybody was complimenting the daughter. So the mother says, honey, why don't you pray us in for lunch? Speaking to the little girl. The little girl looked up at her mom and said, with her eyes, the expression of her face. And the mom said, it's okay, honey, just pray like mom prays.
Oh, yeah.
So some of us know them. So the little girl sat down at the table, put her hands together, bowed her head, and said, dear Lord, why did I say I would do this for these people? And I want you to embrace the shadow side of life, because we are this and that, and we're whole and complete and beautiful the way we are. But the little girl, like everybody else, there's a little girl or a little boy in each and every one of us. Actually, there's both in each and every one of us. And we learn by watching people, watching how they express love and these symbols of love. So I was listening to, she wrote the book, What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. Terry Cole Whitaker. Wonderful lady, a hoot, oh my God. So free and so just willing to be herself. And she was talking about in the English language that the words I used to work for Tony Robbins, and he would say the words we use to describe our life become our life. So she said the words in the English language are very interesting. And how do we spell those words? And when we spell those words, when we speak those words, we cast a spell that we create all around us by the words we use. So that word, you add a little L to it, the letter L, and it becomes your world. So what words start with L? Love, life, laughing, you know, all those wonderful things. So when you add that to your word, you create your world, and it's creating a world that is good for yourself and all around you. And she said that we live on a planet, and every Science of Mind center that you go to, it says, begin with the end in mind. So what is it that you want to experience with life? You know, what is it that, why are you doing what you're doing to get to that point? We live on a planet, and it's best if we plan it. And I went, oh my God, this woman is hypnotizing me with her words. It's just incredible, right? So the words, the very words that we use to describe our life become our life, and the practices that we use in a daily basis help us shape shift into the spiritual beings of life that we want. Like you are doing, Oliver. Wonderful. And each one of you up there dancing as you're, I loved it. Move your body. Guess what, folks? There's no life without breath, and the body requires movement. So I'm going to tell you that I went to the doctor. I used to run marathons. Well, boy, can I exaggerate the story. I ran a marathon, 2 half marathons, and a bunch of 10Ks, 5Ks. But when I quit running, I put on weight, and it's been a little bit, I feel like someone pulled the ripcord on the inflatable boat, and I can't get it back in the package, you know? So I've been going to the doctor, and the doctor's been telling me, Judy, it popped the thing. Baby's got back. It popped the thing off of there. So it doesn't matter what happens to you in life. What matters is how you deal with it. And this is funny. I love it.
Well, the mic is still on.
I'm still good. I'm still good. I just got a lot of power. So what was I talking about now that the distraction got me off course? I went to the doctor. The doctor told me, Judy, I want you to lose some weight. I go, well, you know what? I want to lose weight. I think I'd feel better if I lost weight. I'm talking about me. I would feel better. I went back, and the doctor says, Judy, I want you to lose weight. And I said, you know, I want a second opinion. And the doctor, she wrote it down. The next year, I go get my annual, and she goes, Judy, you wanted a second opinion on losing weight. Here's your vitals now. Will this motivate you, sweetheart? And I'm like, okay, well, I want to be not incongruent, but I want to be congruent with my word. I want to be able to, I don't want who I am to confuse the message for you. So I go, yes, I'll do that. So it didn't come on in a day, it's not going to go off in a day, right? But I'm telling you this to tell you that your spiritual practices, how many of you know that meditation's good for you? Right? We all know it. Do we practice 20 minutes in the morning, 20 in the evening? You don't have to raise your hand and tell on yourself. I'm just, I appreciate it when you do. How many of you journal? Take classes? Ask for prayer? These are things that are daily spiritual practices that are symbols to help you create the spiritual life you want. So that you don't have to give excuses. You can say, baby, here I am. Like Cheryl and Stacy, this place is evidence of their consciousness. Aren't you having fun? Isn't it beautiful music? Isn't it great to be here? I can see now why I traveled hundreds of miles. But the reason why I tell you that is that I want to tell you that each and every person knows what to do. Doing what to do, they know, is another thing. So breathing in, take a breath. I love taking a breath because I kind of feel like sometimes we go so fast we don't relax into it. But we don't have to start out doing everything. But if we make just this bit of a change in our life, the trajectory in our life goes like this. Does it look like a symbol? Right? But it's the baby steps that get you to the destination of your heart's desire. And that is really what we want to incorporate in our lives, that we can do this more and be this more, right? I've been studying for 20 years. It has not been the short road to ministerial school for me. But I'm telling you, it has been a blessing every step of the way. And I used to go into the prisons, FCI Terminal Island Prison, with my friend Reverend Kate. And we went in the prison and we would do a service like this in the prison. So we'd start out with meditation, do a reading, we'd have music, we'd have a speaker. We would do these things. We would invite the congregation, known as inmates at the time, if anybody wanted to do the musical inspiration. There was one man, and this particular man that I'm thinking of, that would always show up to help. He would always stick around to clean up. He would always want to talk over in the corner. I want to pray. I need to talk to you over in the corner. Everything's private. And after a while, I told him, I said, I kept moving our chairs closer and closer to center. I go, there's only one of us here. There's no secrets. And the secret that you think you're keeping is what's dividing you from what you want. So let's go closer. Let's join the group. When any cell in the body, any organ in the body stops communicating with the rest of the body, it creates a dis-ease. Same thing happens in our lives. The minute we stop talking to loved ones, or we start holding secrets, we're separating ourselves and blocking our own energy. So I kept working with him, and finally he comes up to me and he goes, Judy, I'm going to bring the mother drum in the center, and I want to do the opening song. You were there, I think. I go, oh my God, this is fantastic. Yes, you can do that. So we come in, he sits down at the drum, and he does this. You're the audience, and he sits down like this. And he's singing to the wall.
Oh my.
And it's a beautiful song. I think I was a Native American Indian in past lives and stuff like that. I love Native American powwows. And it was a beautiful song, and it was great. And we went through the service, and then later on he comes up to me, and he asked me. So if he asked me, that means I could tell him, right? I'm not giving advice without solicited response, right? So I looked at him, I said, I go, you did fantastic. And he goes, no, really. He goes, what'd you think? I was singing my heart out. I go, I could feel that. I could feel that a lot. I go, but the next time you sing a song, would you be so kind as to turn around and face the audience? Let them see your face. And he goes, in my culture, in my tribe, that was a leadership song. So when I sing a leadership song, I can't sing like this and walk backwards. I have to lead by example. It looks like I'm turning my back on you, but I have to go forward in order for you to follow. And I go, oh my God. So little Miss Judy that thinks she knows everything about everything. I was schooled in prison that day. And I wondered how many times I make assumptions about people with what they're doing, not knowing why they're doing that. To sit there and to ask a question, I love that. What inspired you to do that? I can see that you're moving through something, tell me what's going on. And let them talk instead of me telling them what's going on. I know I'm the only one in the crowd that does that, right? But I just learned so much in that. And every step of my life, every class, every kick, every scream, every hug, every embrace has helped me become the person I am today, that can look out at the crowd and see the face of God in everybody. And know that when people laugh, if you can make people laugh, it opens up their throat and their heart, and they get more oxygen to their body. And what I say earlier, there's no life without breath. So one time in the prison, we brought in some comedians, and afterwards, at the request of the chaplain Abdul and Father Curtness, and these comedians were like late night funny comedians, right? I never heard them before, but I trusted that that's who they wanted. The guys laughed, and they laughed. But I had one volunteer up front that every time, it hurts my heart. And I would sit there, I pulled her over and I said, I want you to go. This is uncomfortable for you. We can have an escort take you out. No, I'm here to be of service. So after the comedians left, I could tell him one joke. No. Is it okay? Okay. So this lady comes in an ice cream parlor, and she comes walking up to the ice cream parlor, and she goes, "Excuse me, sir, I'd like a chocolate cone, just one scoop." And the man said, "I'm sorry, we don't have any chocolate today." She goes, "Mm-hmm." So she went walking back and forth, looking at the ice cream, came back and said, "Okay, sir, I have a chocolate scoop in a cup." And he goes, "Ma'am, I'm trying to tell you, we don't have chocolate here today." He said, "Oh, okay." So she went back and forth, she went looking. She goes, "You know, I decided I want a double scoop of chocolate." So the man said, "I'm sorry, lady, we don't have chocolate here today." He goes, "Do me a favor." He goes, "Can you spell chocolate for me and don't forget to put the F in it?" And she looked at him, she goes, "Sir, there's no F in chocolate." And he goes, "That's what I'm trying to tell you." So you guys get it, you can laugh. But this volunteer was over here all. So afterwards, we asked her what was going on. We asked the guys how they enjoyed it. Men were saying, "You know, for an hour, Judy, I forgot where I was at. My body relaxed so much, it just felt good to be here. It felt good to be here. I could feel that I shifted." And those are the comments we were getting from the inmates. One inmate said, "You know what? I wanted to laugh, but I didn't want to insult your volunteer. It seemed like she was so uncomfortable, I couldn't enjoy myself because of her." Right? So she said, this wasn't spiritual, this wasn't religious, this is not what we teach at Agape. Now when I went and told Reverend Michael told me, "The next time you do something like that, let me go. That sounds like fun." So it is, so laughter is an opening for the soul to express, right? And I later had to talk with her because I wanted her to know, if you can't handle a joke, how are these men ever going to feel forgiven in the face of what they've done? If you can't laugh at a silly joke, how are they going to tell you what brought them here? People are burdened by their history, and they try and put forth a good face so that you'll like them. And then they try and protect those dirty, ugly parts of you that want to be let free, because you're not your experiences, you're a child of God, right? You take a breath in, you're breathing the creative power of the universe, God itself. In this now moment, you're expressing the gratitude and love of God. You're not your experiences. So I wanted to share that with you because a lot of people carry the burden of their emotions around with them. And it doesn't matter if you're 20 or if you're 30 or if you're 75 or 80. Everybody's got something in them that they would like to express with forgiveness. And I work at Alzheimer's Family Center, and I work with people on getting prepared for the end of life. We prepare for everything else. But when we prepare for the end of life, we get to live the life according to our choices, not in crisis, what somebody else thinks you want, but our choices, right? And there's a component of that that asks you, are you willing to be set free? Is there anything else that needs to be said? Is there anybody that, because when I do, and I'm sure you see it too, when we go in at the end of life in hospice, I started out to become a minister to be a hospice chaplain. But I come in there and everybody's like, who does he think he is? He hasn't been here in 20 years and now that she's passing away. And I'm like, hush, your mom is right here. But everybody has something that they got knocked off their center and went off this way because of one expression. And who is forgiveness for? For ourselves. We're not drinking poison so hoping somebody else is going to get sick, right? So it is for ourselves. And in that, I know that each and every one of us would like to forgive someone or be forgiven for someone. Now, I don't recommend that you go out of this room and go try and bring up something from 20 years ago with somebody that might have already forgotten. It'd be like, my little sister. Quit trying to fix me. I go, I want a relationship. We got a relationship once a year. I want more, but that's me. So I no longer pester her. I go pester Kate. Kate, I need a sister. I got my sister in Kate. But what I'm saying is that the other person doesn't have to be there to experience the forgiveness. If you do the inner work, that it doesn't matter whether they know it or not, they'll come all of a sudden and call you. They might send a letter. It's that Edwin Gaines thing where she's looking at her fingernails and said, I sent my ex-husband a forgiveness letter and he sent me a $10,000 check. She goes, I now write him every year. And we're not given to get. We're not given to get, but we're given because that's who we are, right? We first receive. The first thing the doctor makes us do is breathe, and then we give. So all of us want to give without receiving, right? So let's just practice and forgive someone. And I can't believe how much time flies when I'm up here talking. But I'm going to finish with this one story. Two stories. Yeah, 2 stories. When I was in Tony Robbins, and this is an affirmation that I really like. It's a symbol. This little girl went to a Tony Robbins seminar, and she was in a gang. And the reason why she went to a Tony Robbins seminar, because somebody that loved her knew that her best friend was just shot and killed in front of her. So they bought her a ticket and sent her to Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins was working with her, and she goes, I can't leave the gang, they'll kill me too. And he says, we're going to be bigger than them. We're going to be able to do the work and absolutely know that it's okay. And she was so scared of leaving that she was willing to stay in the symbol of who she thought she was and die. And Tony helped her with an affirmation, and the affirmation goes like this. And I'd like to empower each and every one of you with this. Now I am the voice. I will lead, not follow. I will believe, not doubt. I will create, not destroy. I am a force for good. I am a force for God. I step up. I set a new standard. And every time she said that, she had to say it louder. And then Tony, always, the drums in the background, boom, 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 boom. Now I am the voice. I will lead, not follow. I'll believe, not doubt. I'll create, not destroy. I am a force for good. I am a force for God. I step up and I set a new standard. Who are we doing that for? The quality of life, when one is lifted, how many are lifted? All. So I invite you to think about this. And there was a story that the pastor said at my brother's memorial, and I loved it. And I want to share it. And it was about a young man and a father. And the young man had hurt his father. And the young man felt so embarrassed for what he did, so ashamed, so guilty, that he left. He ran away from home. And the father missed him terribly. And the father would look throughout Spain looking for Paco. Paco, come home. Papa's forgiven you. So one day the father decided to put an ad in the newspaper. And the ad in the newspaper said, Paco, this is Papa. All is forgiven. Sorry. All is forgiven. Please come home. Meet me at the center. Meet me at the Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living on Sunday at 10 o'clock. And every day after the father wrote that ad, he prayed that his son would hear the message, that he would see the ad, that he would know that he could come home. When the man showed up, at the place he told his son to meet him, he was shocked. There was 800 Pacos hoping that it was their father saying, it's okay to come home. Just imagine one kind act from somebody. It might not give you what you expected to get out of it, but it'll free somebody from the prisons of their own mind. And wouldn't that be a blessing? So if there's a Paco out there that you can say, and you don't even have to write a letter or anything, you do the inner work and energetically, because we're all sound vibration. We're all light and sound vibration. But when the work is done in you, then you don't chase something, it chases you. It comes to you. We don't give to get, we don't become special, we are special by virtue of our breath. We have the right and the blessing and the divine gift of life. How you paint that life, how you create that life, how you live that life is your signature of your inner beliefs, values, and symbols. So as you breathe in, just know, if the forgiveness is for me, I'm sorry for all the misperceptions I've made about myself and others. I appreciate myself. I love myself. I believe in myself. There shall be no false gods before me. And in this moment, I accept the glory of God as my life and the life of others. How beautiful is that? So I'm going to invite you now, because I believe I do a closing prayer. Is that correct? Yeah. So I'll invite you now to just breathe in the power of forgiveness. Breathe in the power of love, the power of laughter. Remember what it's like to have fun? Let's go do that. Let's go have fun. Nothing like fun for having a good time. So as we breathe in, like Aldo said, breathe in the life, the love, the beauty of God. Hold it in your chest for just a moment. Don't be so quick to let go of it. Let your body sense and feel the love. And then blow it out through your mouth, over the tongue that speaks your intentions into the universe. And do that with great joy and peace, knowing that there is one power, this one presence, this one life, this one breath that I call God. It is the love that gives me life. It is the love that gives each and every one of us here life. It is the ever-givingness, no restrictions. God doesn't hold back. God doesn't punish. God doesn't say, oh, well, you haven't done your spiritual practice, so you can't have that. No, God gives. Now we allow, we receive. So breathe it in. As you unify yourself with the breath of God, and let it go, realizing in this moment that your life is whole, complete, and perfect, that there is nothing that you have to do. You only need to allow now the floodgates of God's love to pour forth through you as you. And with the breath of kindness and love for the spoken word, we simply rest and celebrate. Know that this is already done. The vibration of your very breath, your voice, the emotion of love, kindness that you express your words with, are done before the activity shows up in form. Trust it, expect it, allow it, and let it be. And so it is. And so it is. Amen. Thank you.
And now a song called Breathe. Written by my dear friend from New Jersey, Jody.
Surrounding you with all you ever need.
You know, I love seeing the faces of the folks here for the first time. If you would please sign our guest book out in the grand hallway, I'll keep in touch with you, and I promise I won't stalk you. Okay? Well, I've been made to say that now. So, do we have any children? We have Taya.
Yes, the conspiracy is true. I got taller. No, I'm wearing heels. Okay, so I'm gonna go one by one. There's a lot. So the first thing first I have a little story. So this story is about rocks, Miss Beth's car. So she got rocks for the lesson today, and she went to this rock store. And so the man's like, hey, you gotta weigh your car. So she weighed her car. And then he's like, hey, put the rocks in your car. And then she put the rocks in the car. And then he said, hey, weigh your car again. So then she weighed her car again. It was 108 pounds. 180 pounds.
That's how many rocks I got.
And then she's like, wow, that's expensive. And he's like, pay me $10. And she's like, wow, that's cheap. And so that's the story for you.
They're in there.
A whole bunch. So the first thing we did is we made this mirror. And we read there was a couple of these online. And basically there's like all this inspirational like quote that you make yourself inside of it. And so whenever you wake up, you're supposed to look at it and you're supposed to say it to yourself, and you practice in a real mirror. And so it's like basically like a morning motivation, or before bed motivation, or during the day motivation, or motivation anytime you want. And mine says, I am brave, motivating, open, compassionate, wonderful, driven, valuable, friendly, and true. And the next thing we made were these meditation rocks, and like we used the Mandela like papers and stuff. We used this book to make designs and stuff. So here's mine. And for those art enthusiasts, the dots color is called banana. He's great personality. And then we also colored it's mine. We also colored in this picture, which we use some of these words for motivation for the mirror thing, and it says it's every letter of the alphabet, but with a word. So A, adored, B, brave, C, compassionate, D, driven, E, enthusiastic, F, friendly, G, given, H, helpful, I, imperfect, G, joyful, K, kind, L, loving, M, motivated, N, nutrition, E, open, O, open, P, passionate, Q, quirky, R, real, S, silly, T, true, U, unique, V, valuable, W, wonderful, X, extra special, Z, zippy, don't know why, and then Q.
What do we change imperfect to?
I'm perfect, because like I'm imperfect.
Thank you, Beth, for all you do for our kids. And you all see the decorations in the hall, the school theme. She was here Saturday with Miss Jane. And yes. Anyway, I would like to invite Stacy to come forward. Any visiting ministers or practitioners to please come forward and join us here in front of the room, and our own Ministry of Prayer team. Woohoo! It looks like summertime, huh? It's all good. Okay.
We already did the closing prayer, so we can just stand and connect and sing our peace song.
Stand and connect.
this in my mind.
I know this in my mind.
I feel it in my